28 speaks about us being carried off in ships. But we have some who says within the language it doesn't say ships. Okay. How can we use Deuteronomy 28 to justify or to explain slavery actually happened in America?
All right. If I could, if I could say something, and not for the sake of controversy, but for the sake of clarity, I don't think anything could be properly worded as justifying slavery, as much as it would be probably more accurate to say to explain why our ancestors were taken away. Right? Justification becomes a word that can become the point of controversy to people who are less educated as us, so as not to understand the way in which you mean it. Because there are some people who hear our claims of Deuteronomy 28 and they feel as if slavery is justified, meaning that it's a good thing, right? God is with us just dying, right? So to those who are less informed and are ill instructed, that word can have the wrong meaning and the wrong impact. And so Deuteronomy 28, as I was told in 1994 by one of my teachers, we call that the mirror, that chapter. Because we look in Deuteronomy 28, the curses in particular, and we see the struggle, we see the plight, and we see the destruction of our people in this country, in the Caribbean, in the UK, and through all parts of the world where our diaspora has carried us to. One of the reasons why Deuteronomy 28, beginning from verse 14 onwards, is such an important chapter for our people is because it describes how the children of Israel were foretold through prophecy that they would suffer imminent destruction in their land that would forcibly spew them out or vomit them out their land. I'm using metaphor, and cause them to go into what the Bible describes as exile and captivity. And according to Genesis chapter 15, when the Creator gives Abraham his vision and takes Abraham through the exile in Egypt, he says, "Know for a certainty, Abraham, that your seed shall be strangers in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them for 400 years." And so we argue in our community today, and we're even willing to debate, that this is a dual-fold prophecy, as many prophecies in the Bible are. One relating to the exile that occurred in Egypt itself, Egypt of old, and the other side of the duality relating to an exile in a future time to a place like unto Egypt of old. As it is no mystery today that America fancies herself in terms of her power and even her prowess after ancient Egypt. It's no mystery today. It's even heavily written upon by many authors, best-selling novels at that, how Washington, D.C. is patterned after ancient Egypt, and how even several policies upheld and practiced in this country have ancient Egyptian origins. And so there are many ways in which we compare and contrast the practices of ancient Egypt of old to America today. Egypt of old was a melting pot. People from all parts of the world would descend upon Egypt for its vastness of resources and for its diffuse culture. Egypt being an isolate, yet so great in culture, it represented in this small strip of land a piece of every culture in the world.